Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. So today we are going to discuss your biology question paper. As you can see, the biology question paper which is based on the non-coordinates, and already we have discussed about the non-coordinates, and today we are going to discuss your question paper, right? So the questions which are given here, okay, they are from the textbook and few are from the from the references, okay. So let's discuss the questions, okay, one by one, and let's know their answers, okay. So we'll start with the question number 91, okay. So you can see the question number 91, what it is given: when any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is radial symmetry, okay. Halves, it is radial symmetry. Which of the following set of animals, okay, have radial symmetry? So we have to consider, okay, the organism which possesses the radial symmetry. Now if we want to recollect all this information, means which are the different phyla, okay, or which are the organisms of different phyla having the radial type of symmetry, okay. So for that we have to revise all these points, like from phylum Porifera to the phylum Hemichordata, okay. So here you can see the options are given. Option A, housefly. Option B, fish. Option C, human beings. See, housefly, fish, okay, or even you can say the, what we say, right, human beings. They show basically the bilateral type of symmetry, okay. Sponges, hydra, crabs, okay. So sponges, they are generally asymmetric, they don't have any kind of symmetry, so they are not involved in this, so we cannot consider the option number B. The next, coelentrates, ctenophores and echinoderms. Yes, in case of coelentrates, ctenophores and echinoderms, we can see the radial symmetry. But radial means what? See, if the body it is oval or circular, then it can be divided into many identical equal halves by passing the plane through the central axis. So I am passing two planes from the central axis, so body is divided into four parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Again we will pass one more, so body is divided into 6 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again many depends upon how many planes are passing through the body, okay. In case of coelentrates or ctenophore, as well as in case of the echinoderms, we have already discussed here. See, in ctenophore in coelentrates, we have studied about the jellyfish, right? And as I have told you in the very beginning of this chapter, when we are discussing about the general characteristic feature or the parameters, at that time we have discussed about the symmetry, right? In that we have discussed about the universal type of symmetry, radial symmetry and the bilateral. In radial symmetry, three different types were there: tetramerous, pentamerous and hexamerous, right? So tetramerous, pentamerous and hexamerous. Tetramerous in terms of coelentrates like jellyfish, pentamerous in case of echinoderms, okay, that is starfish, and hexamerous in the case of sea cucumber, okay, or even the sea walnut also, okay. So that is the comb jellies. So we have option C. The correct option for this question will be option number C, okay. And last option was annelids, arthropods and housefly, okay. So basically they possess the bilateral type of symmetry, okay. So that is the option C is the correct answer for question number 91. The next question number 92, closed circulatory system is found in, okay. So see here, what type of circulatory system is found in this organism? Option A, earthworm. Option B, arthropoda. Option C, unio, and option D, leech, okay. So generally in case of earthworm we see the closed circulatory system is found, okay. Earthworm is an annelid. Here leech is also an annelid, but in case of earthworm there is a presence of closed circulatory system. If you look after the general characteristic feature of the earthworm, that is the example of the annelid, you will come to know that it is having a closed circulatory system, okay. The next question number 93, sponges are most primitive multicellular organisms with which of the following levels of organizations are seen, okay. So here see, when we talk about the sponges, what type of level of organization they have? They have the cellular level of organization. Although these sponges are multicellular organisms. Okay, so see the options are given: acellular, cellular, tissue, and organ system. So in case of sponges, it is always cellular level of organization. Okay, because here the as they are multicellular organism, but the body of this organism consists of many cells. So what we are calling multicellular. But these cells, they are working independently. Okay, they are not working in coordinated manner. So what we are calling it is having a cellular level of organization. The next question is the question number 94. Incomplete alimentary canal with blind sac body plan is present in. Okay, so options are given: annelids, arthropods, platyhelminths, and sponges. Okay, so here when we talk of the sponges, they don't have any kind of body plan. Annelids, okay, they have. Okay, in case of Aschelhelminthes, we can see. Okay, at one end the mouth and another end the anus is there. In case of Aschelhelminthes, we have discussed about ascaris. Okay, so we can get the idea by the diagram itself. Okay, in male they have the coxal gland, which is a common pathway for excretion of the nitrogenous waste material, as well as can be acting as a reproductive part. In case of female, mouth and anus, they are distinctly seen. Okay, so that is the next arthropods. Arthropods also have a mouth that is chewing and biting type. Okay, in case of some other like sucking or what do you say, sponging type, different types of mouth parts are there. Then apart from this, they also have the anus. Okay, that means there is a excretion. So that is having a complete type of alimentary canal. In case of platyhelminths, okay, now platyhelminths in the sense what? They consist of the worms like Taenia worm, okay, Taenia solium. So see these worms, where they are found? They are found in the intestine of humans. Okay, some of them are also found in the intestine of sheep. So basically they don't have any kind of digestive system at all. Okay, and when we talk of the alimentary canal, digestive system is a part of alimentary canal. Okay, if digestive system is not there, okay, so what kind of absorption they do? They act as a parasites, endoparasite. They suck the blood or they suck the digested food material and they excrete this digestive or the undigested food material in the form of cyst. Okay, so body is being separated. We have discussed about the Taenia solium. Okay, rounded body was there, suckers and hooks were present. Okay, so in this way we have discussed about it, right? So the body as it comes at the distal part, it will separate into the cyst, and this cyst will be released, okay, from the body. So that is nothing but a correct answer for this, option number C for question number 94. The next question number 95. Here you have to select the correct matching of animals, okay, their body symmetry and coelom. So here some phylums are given in the first column. Okay, in second column it is symmetry, and in third column it is like body plan or the body cavity. Okay, so here you can see the options. So first option, Ctenophores, in front of that radial symmetry and acoelomate it is given. Okay, then platyhelminths, bilateral symmetry and acoelomates. Then Aschelhelminths, then bilateral symmetry and pseudocoelomates, and then annelids, radial and coelomates. So here different what we say matchings are given. Okay, of this we have to select the correct one. See, I will tell you the direct answer for this. Platyhelminths, bilateral symmetry, and they are acoelomates. They know, okay, so they don't have any type of body cavity. So here, as I told you, the alimentary canal is not there, means properly developed, it is not there. So that means they don't have any kind of body cavity also. So here, the correct option for question number 95 will be the option number 2 or the option number B. Okay, the next question number 96, acoelomate diploblastic animals, okay, animal phylum is, okay, acoelomate. Now think about it, when we discuss about the classification, okay, first or when we discuss about the different phylum, first three phylums are there: phylum Porifera, phylum Ctenophora, phylum Coelenterata, right? So these three phylums, they don't have any kind of what we say, or they don't they are basically diploblastic animals. They are not triploblastic, they are diploblastic animals. Then they don't have any kind of coelom, body cavity is not been seen in case of these animals. Okay, so the digestion can be intracellular or extracellular like that, but in case as they don't have the body cavity. So see the options given. Phylum Platyhelminthes, okay, although they are acoelomate, but they are not diploblastic. Okay, the next phylum Cnidaria, yes, it can be the answer. Then Aschelhelminthes, no, they are also triploblastic, and Hemichordate, they are also triploblastic. So the correct option is the option number B, that is Cnidaria, which includes the jellyfish, okay, or the coelentrates. So the next question number 97, which of the following animal, okay, has tube within tube body plan evolved along deuterostomic evolutionary line? Now what is meant by deuterostomic evolutionary line? See, in the again when we talk of the body plan, okay, we have seen the cell aggregate body plan, tube within tube body plan, okay, and many. So here in tube within tube body plan, okay, how the tube is formed? This tube is formed from the blastocyst. Okay, so the blastocyst cells are there. These blastocyst cells, okay, they undergo formation of invagination. This invagination will grow, and this part can be referred as the blastopore. Blastopore. Okay, now this blastopore, it depends. If it develops into mouth, okay, and then it will develop into anus, then it can be referred as the protostomes. If it develops into anus, okay, first, and then it will develop into mouth, then such a arrangement is called as the deuterostome. Okay, I hope you are getting this. Okay, if you recall the points, you can get this answer. It is given in the notes also. Then see the options. Okay, so options are given. Option A, annelids. Option B, arthropods. Option C, Aschelhelminthes. Okay, and option D, mollusk. So see here, in case of Aschelhelminthes, okay, we see the tube within tube body plan, okay, evolved along the deuterostomic evolutionary line. So in this, that is Aschelhelminthes, properly we can see the tube within tube body plan. As I have told you, they have the complete alimentary canal, right? Mouth, anus is there. So at one end mouth and another end anus. So that means they have a complete alimentary canal, and this complete alimentary canal is due to the tube within tube type of body plan. The next question number 98. In the course of evolution, true coelom appeared for first time in, okay, so when we talk about the evolution, okay, so as far as evolution is concerned, so the first time in which organism, in which type of phylum we have seen the appearance of the body cavity, okay, or the coelom. You can see body cavity or coelom. So that is options are given: Annelida, Chordata, okay, because Chordata were not the first one to develop, okay, then Aschelhelminthes, then Echinodermata, okay, these are the options. So option A, Annelida, will be the correct answer for this question, okay, as they are the first animals who has evolved, okay, or are supposed to be evolved and have the evolved type of body cavity. Okay, the next, which of the following is incorrect matching of phylum, okay, their alimentary canal and metameric segmentation? So we have to consider these following characters, like phylum. In the you can see in the it is matching, it is given, okay, so it's like match the base. In first column animals are given, which also include the phylum. Then another column symmetry, okay, then third column is the coelom. So or you can also consider the prior characters which are given here. So the first, that is phylum, then alimentary canal, okay, then metamerism. So here options are given. Option 1, Annelida, they have complete type of alimentary canal, okay, and they have the body cavity, okay, they have the body cavity or the coelom. Arthropoda, they are also having the complete alimentary canal and what we say, body cavity is also present. In mollusk, they also having the complete alimentary canal, okay, and the body cavity is absent. They don't have any kind of special body cavity. Now here, the platyhelminths, they have incomplete type of alimentary canal, but metamerism cannot be seen in case of platyhelminths. Okay, if we look after the worms which are present in the platyhelminths, like the tapeworm is there, and in case of other than tapeworm, planaria is there, liver fluke are there. They don't have any kind of metameric segmentation. So correct option for the question number 99 is option number D. Okay. The next, move to the next question. Question number 100. If amoeba is kept in distilled water, its contractile vacuole, okay, what will happen to its contractile vacuole? Okay. So say distilled water in the sense it is like it doesn't have any kind of minerals into it. It's a pure water. Okay. So when we shrink the amoeba into the distilled water, it will work faster. Okay. So option B will be the correct for this. Okay. The next, paramecium feeds through. Okay. So paramecium is a kind of protozoan basically. See, in many of the books or many of the topics, the paramecium or the protozoans are not discussed in kingdom Animalia, but as they are the part of the kingdom Animalia, so we have to recall these points. Okay, as we have already discussed in the biological classification of the about the protozoans. Okay, so we can recollect these points here. So paramecium feeds through. So they feed through the oral grooves. Okay, they have the oral grooves through which they will feed themselves. Okay, so option C is correct for question number 101. Then 102, total parasites belong to protozoal group, okay, are called sporozoa. Okay, so basically, see, most of the parasites, they are present in different forms. Okay, they are present in different form in their adult stage or when they get developed. But in the early condition, when they are supposed to infect any kind of host organism, at that time they are in the form of sporozoites or the sporozoa. Okay, so option number A will be the correct answer for 102. Then question number 103, common trait between amoeba and leukocyte is. Okay, so see, what are the common characteristics between these two types of cells? That is, amoeba is also unicellular organism and leukocyte is WBC, white blood cells. Okay, so the options are given. N system is N system and then seropodia, sporulation and contractile vacuole. So the correct option for this is the seropodia. See, leukocytes are the WBC cells, okay, which are also referred as the soldier cells of the body. Okay, so they are also called macrophages basically. As far as macrophages are concerned, they move from one place to another place with the help of parapodia. Okay, and they help in the phagocytosis called cell eating. Okay, and amoeba also they move with the help of parapodia. So this is the common trait between the amoeba and leukocyte. Then next, question number 104. Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as. Okay, so cycon, as we have discussed, cycon is a type of sponge or it is a poriferan, right? So see, it is a multicellular with cellular level of organization without any tissue organization. Okay, so this will be the correct answer for this. See, other options are also given like unicellular or cellular. No, then it is either cellular, that is unicellular, but it is not unicellular. Sponges are multicellular. Okay, then multicellular with a gastrovascular cavity. No, there is no gastrovascular cavity in the sponges. Multicellular having tissue level of organization. This is also incorrect. As I told you, the cycon belongs to the poriferan. Okay, poriferans are multicellular, but they have the cell level of organization. Okay, so here you can see option number B is the correct for question number 104. The next, canal system of porifera is not connected with. Okay, see, canal system of porifera is not connected with. Now, what are the different functions it is performing? See here, for option A, food gathering. Of course, it is associated with the gathering of food, because if we talk about the canal system, means it is the water vascular system, we can say, because water moves from this canal system and help in the transportation of the food, right? The next, respiratory gas exchange. Yes, of course it is associated with respiration, because it is the opening through which gases exchange also takes place. Then removal of the waste. Okay, so in the case of sponges we have seen, okay, so there is a such a body is there, okay, and this body is attached to the substratum over here, and at the apical region there will be presence of a opening that is called osculum, okay, and this is also nothing but a kind of canal system which is responsible for excretion of nitrogenous waste material, right? Then finally, option D, locomotion. Of course, they don't show any kind of locomotion as they are attached to the substratum. They are attached to the solid substratum. They don't show any kind of locomotion, right? So, option D will be the correct answer for question number 105. The next, question number 106. Digestion of food in sponges is, okay, see, where the food is digested in sponges, from the inner part, in the endoderm, there will be collar-like cells are present, which are called as the choanocytes. Okay, so these choanocytes, they help in the digestion of the food material, or that layer, okay, help in the digestion of food material, as they will project the food material which has been entered within the, okay, sponges in this cavity, and they will mediate this food material to the specific cells. Okay, so here the digestion will be intracellular with the help of choanocytes. So the option A will be the correct. Okay. The next, question number 107. The characteristic cells of sponges are, again, nerve cells, choanocytes or collar cells, amoebocytes, then chromocytes. Okay. So here choanocytes can be the correct answer, or they are also called collar cells. As I told you, they are helping in the process of digestion. So they are having a characteristic feature. Although amoebocytes are also seen, okay, amoebocytes are also seen in case of sponges which are responsible for providing the defense mechanism. But here we will consider the correct answer, that is choanocytes. Okay. The next, question number 108. Which of the following is not a character of phylum Porifera? Okay. So the options are there. Sexes are not separate. Okay. Fertilization is internal. Development is indirect, and option D, they are exclusively present in marine water and are mostly asymmetric. Okay, so what we have to consider here, which one of the following is not a character of phylum Porifera? See here. So the first option, it is given, sexes are not separate. Of course, they are hermaphrodite. Okay. The next, fertilization is internal. Okay. Yes, it can also be seen as it is having the cellular level of organization. Then development is indirect. Yes, the development is seen indirect. The next, they are exclusively present in marine. No, that is wrong. Okay, because some poriferous, some sponges are also found in the fresh water. Okay, so as we have discussed during the classification, you can get that point that Desmospongia is a type of sponge which is found in the fresh water. Okay. So the last option, that is option D, will be the correct here. Okay, or you can say it is the not a character of phylum Porifera. Okay. Then question number 109. Which of the following is incorrect matching? Okay. So see the options are given: Cycon, Scypta. Then option B, Spongilla, freshwater sponge. Spongilla in the sense Desmospongia. Okay. Then Euspongia, bath sponge. See, during the classification, okay, we have discussed about it. That is Calcarea, Hexactina, then Desmospongia. In that we have seen these examples. Okay, and Chalina, boring sponge. Okay, so here Cycon, Scypta are the correct match. Spongilla, freshwater sponge, it is also correct match. Then Euspongia and that is bath sponge, these are also correct match. The incorrect match is the Chalina and boring sponge. Okay, so this is the incorrect match over here. So the option D will be the correct answer for question number 109. The next, question number 110. Parenchyma is a larva of. See, Parenchyma is a larva of what? See, we have discussed about it. Okay, parenchyma, it is a larval stage. Amphiblastula, parenchyma. Okay, where they are found? They are found in case of Hydra. They are also found in case of the sponges, Leuconosolia, Solenia. Okay, so correct option for this is the both B and C. Okay, sorry, they are not found in case of Hydra. They are found only in case of what we say sponges and Leuconosolenia, and most of the sponges they are included in the phylum Porifera, right? So option B and C will be the correct for this, not in Hydra, sorry. Okay. The next question number 111. The simplest type of canal system in phylum Porifera is, see, we have three different types of canal system: Ascon type, okay, Sycon type and Leucon type. So Ascon type of canal is the very simplest type of canal system, okay, in the phylum Porifera. So option A will be the correct answer for this. The next, sponges have evolved from ciliates, okay, flagellates, protozoans and guanoflagellates. So it is basically guanoflagellates because guanocytes are the collar cells, okay, and they consist of a flagella. If we look after the structure again, I will remind you, okay. So such a structure is seen of the guanocytes, which is having a flagella. So they have a collar-like structure, okay. So the flagellates are the structures from which sponges are evolved. Option D is correct for question number 112. Then, which of the following which of the following is the characteristic feature of cnidarians, okay, or the cylindrids? Cnidarian and the cylindrids are same. So we will see here, they are aquatic, marine, diploblastic animals, okay. They exhibit tissue level of organization, okay. They have central gastrovascular cavity, okay, with a single opening, okay. Means they have what kind of see, if we talk about the cnidarian, okay, in cnidaria what we have seen examples like we have seen about the Hydra, right? So Hydra, what type of body plan it is having? It is having a blind sac body plan, means there is a single opening for ingestion as well as excretion of the nitrogenous waste material. So see here, options are given, and option D, digestion is only extracellular. No. So option C will be the correct here, as they have central gastrovascular cavity, okay, with a single opening. Okay, if you look after the into the notes, I have given a diagram over there. Okay, such a diagram is there. This is of Hydra. Okay, and it is the body is attached to the substratum again. Here the tentacles can be seen. Okay, this opening, particular opening, acts as a mouth as well as anus. So it is having a blind end over here. So it is acting as a blind sac body plan. Okay, so it is a characteristic feature of cnidaria. Okay, so that is the answer, option number C. Then question number 114, which is the most appropriate term used for life cycle of Obelia? Okay, so it is called metagenesis. It is called metagenesis. Okay, so that is the life cycle of Obelia. Obelia is also a type of cylindrid. Okay, in which we see two different parts. That is like they are also having the stalk-like structure. They are also having the umbrella-like structure. Okay, so Obelia having a type of multiplication phase, that is called metagenesis. Okay, the next, the free swimming level of cylindrid is, so free swimming larva was there. Okay, we have discussed about it in the cylindrida. There is free swimming larva is called planula. Okay, so planula larva is there. You can see in the notes also. So the correct option for question number 115 is option number A. The next, the characteristic cells of cylindrids are, okay, so what is the characteristic feature of the cylindrid? Basic characteristic feature, as the name is given, cnidaria. Okay, they are also called as the cnidaria. So they have the cnidoblast. Okay, and they have the nidoblast cells which are also stinging cells. Okay, so what the name has been given? Nidaria. So see here, chloroplasts present in the epidermis only. The nidoblasts are present in epidermis only. Nidoblasts present in both epidermis and gastrodermis. And option D, flame cells. So see, flame cells is not a characteristic of the Nidaria. It is a characteristic feature of the what? Platyhelminthes, as it is present in the tape form. Okay. Then the next, nidoblasts are present in both epidermis and gastrodermis. In gastrodermis, nidoblasts are not present. Okay. They are present only in the epidermis part, as they are involved in catching the prey. Okay. So these are the stinging cells. They have a sting at the end. Okay, and helps in the capturing of the food material. So option B will be the correct. Nidoblast present in epidermis only. Okay, so that is the correct answer for this. The next, which of the following? Okay, that is question number 116 is the having the answer, that is option B. Okay, then question number 117, which of the following is incorrect match? So here again we have to consider some matches. So first is the Physalia, that is Portuguese man of war. We have discussed about it. Then Mindrina, that is staghorn coral, and Gorgonia, that is called sea pen. Yes, it is correct. Then Pennatula, it is also a sea pen. Okay, sea pen and sea pen. These are the correct match. The incorrect match is the Mindrina, that is staghorn coral. Okay, this is the incorrect answer. Okay. The next, 118, sea walnuts or comb jellies belong to phylum. Okay, so sea walnuts or comb jellies belong to what type of phylum? That is phylum Ctenophora. Okay, Nidaria, Mollusca, Ctenophora. Okay, and Porifera. So option C will be the correct answer. The next, which of the following is not a character of phylum Ctenophore? So we have to consider the characteristic feature of the Ctenophore. Okay, among this we have to find out the odd one. Okay, so see here, they are exclusively marine and show radial symmetry. Okay, Ctenophore means it comes with the sea walnut or the comb jellies. So the body is oval. Okay, so they have the radial symmetry, of course. Okay, they are found in the marine water. Yes, it is correct. The next, they are diploblastic with tissue level of organization. Okay, yes, they are having the diploblastic, that is ectoderm, endoderm is there. In between them, there is a mesoderm, or not mesoderm, mesoglia is there. Okay, so they are diploblastic and having the organ level, tissue level of organization. Tissue in the sense, they have the gastrodermis, as we have discussed about it. I will show you by the diagram itself. Okay, so most of the examples can be studied with the help of diagram only. Okay, no need to go with the explanation again. So we have drawn a diagram like this. Okay, which was having the mouth, okay, then pharynx, okay, then the gastrodermis, and which opens into the anus like this. Like this, right? So it was having the ectoderm, then it was having the endoderm or the gastrodermis, and in between that there was the mesoderm. Okay, so see here, they are having the tissue level of organization. Okay, they don't have the organs, different types of organs over here. Okay, the next, third option, that is monoecious and exhibit bioluminescence. Okay, so they are dioecious and exhibit the bioluminescence. Then reproduction is internal with indirect development. Okay, so in case of this will be the not characteristic feature of the phylum Ctenophora, that is reproduction is internal. Okay, so and with indirect development, so that is the not characteristic feature of the phylum Ctenophora. Option D. The next, question number 120, tentacles of ctenophores contain. Okay, so what are the tentacles? Okay, in ctenophores we have seen, okay, if we look after the gastrodermis here, from the gastrodermis there will be arising the stinging cells. Okay, so these stinging cells are nothing but acting as a tentacles. Okay, and these tentacles, they consist of these cells called coloblast. Okay, they consist of those cells called coloblast. So see here the options are given: nidoblast, coloblast, complex, and statocyst. Okay, so see the complex, they are present here on the body wall, so they are not present on the tentacles. If tentacles are concerned, they consist of the coloblast cells. So that is the correct answer for this, option number B. Then question number 121, which of the following is incorrect match regarding the phylum and its two examples? Okay, now here phylum Ctenophora, that is option matchings are given like Pyrobrachia and Ctenoplana. These are the correct matches. Okay, then Cnidaria, they are having Adamsia and Obelia. You can look after the examples in the textbook also, you can get this answer. Okay, then phylum option C, phylum Porifera, Euspongia and Hemipora. Hemipora is not a type of sponge. Okay, then platyhelminths, Taenia and Fasciola. That is, Taenia is the Taenia solium tapeworm and Fasciola is the liver fluke. Okay, so here option A, B and D are the correct match. Only option C is the incorrect match as it is concerned with the Hemipora. Okay, so next question number 122. Hydra is, see what are the characters of Hydra. Hydra, what it is? It is a freshwater organism. Okay, so it is found in the freshwater. So the options are C. Option A, freshwater from radially symmetrical and diploblastic, of course. The next, marine, radially symmetrical and diploblastic, no. Freshwater form, bilaterally symmetrical and diploblastic, no. Then marine, radially symmetrical but and diploblastic, no. So it is found in the freshwater. That is, option A will be the correct answer for this. The next, in Taenia, that is tapeworm, alimentary canal is absent because, see, I told you about this question. So the options, I will read the direct option answer. They absorb the nutrient from the host directly through the body surface. So they are acting as a parasites, right? Or the endoparasites. So what they do? They will absorb their nutrition from the digestive system of the body. Okay. So that is how they survive. So they don't have the complete alimentary canal into them. Okay. So option C will be the correct for it. Then question number 124. Which of the following is not a characteristic features of the phylum Platyhelminthes? Okay. So see, the options are given. Sexes are not separate. Okay. That means they are hermaphrodite. The next, fertilization is internal and is cross fertilization. Yes, they favor the cross fertilization. Then development is indirect through many larval stages. Yes, they have the larval stages. These three are the characters of the phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay. Then lives in the intestine of sheep. Okay. So see, it does not live, okay, in the intestine of sheep. We look after the, yes, they are found in the intestine of human. Okay. Some are free living. Okay. And some are in association with the goat. Okay, because as we talk about the liver fluke, they are found in goat as well as in pig. Okay, so they live within the pig and they use goat as a host for some time. So the correct option will be option number D. They lives in the intestine of sheep. Okay, so that is a not characteristic feature of phylum Platyhelminthes. The next, specialized cells called flame cells which help in osmoregulation and excretion are the characteristic feature of Fascicola. Okay, that is the liver fluke. They have the what we say, flame cells for the excretion and osmoregulation. Okay. The next question number 126. Which of the following is not a characteristic feature of Fascicola hepatica? Okay. Now here again, I think the question, it is similar to the question number 124. See, options are also given same. Okay, but the name has been given different, Fascicola hepatica. Okay, so the options are given. Sexes are not separate, that is hermaphrodite. Fertilization is internal and cross fertilization. Development is indirect through many larval stages, and option D, lives in the intestine of sheep. So this will be the correct for this again. The next, in the life history of liver fluke are present A. Calcarea, B. Metacarcaria, C. Sporocyst, D. Redia, E. Miracidium. Okay, what is the proper sequence? So these are the metamorphic stages of the liver fluke. Okay, so we have to consider which one is the correct sequence. So here, see, options are given, option A, B, C, D. So here the sequences are given. I'll tell you the sequences. Option number C is the correct answer over here. That is E, C, D, A, B. What are E, C, D, A, B? C. E is Miracidium or Miracidium. That is the first. Then D, that is the Redia. Okay. Sorry, C is there. That is Sporocyst. Then D, Redia, and A, Calcarea and Metacarcaria. These are the certain stages. So that is the correct sequence. Okay. So you can refer to the option number C of question number 127. The next, Taenia solium is attached to intestinal mucosa. Okay. So Taenia solium, which is that tape form, it is found in the human body in the intestine. As I told you, the body, okay, consists of the head part, okay, circular head part. Okay, this is called scolex, okay, which consists of the hooks and suckers. That part is called scolex. So see here, options are given. What was the option? Yes. Taenia solium is attached to intestinal mucosa by rostrum, okay, scolex, proglottids, and the acetybulum. So the correct option is the scolex. This part is the scolex. Okay. So that is the correct answer for this. The next, transfer of taenia to secondary host occurs through oncophores. Okay. So these are the cells or these are the structures which are responsible for transferring the taenia from one host to another host. That is from primary host to secondary host. The next, cysticerous larva of taenia develops in. See, we have also discussed about the body of this Taenia solium, right? So here, the cyst part of the living organisms. Okay, cyst part of the living organism or the cyst part of this. Okay. So see the question number 130, that is cysticerous larva of Taenia develops in. Okay, options are given: the man, goat, sheep, and pig. See, cysticerous larva or the cyst which are found within the human body itself. Okay, and with the help of fecal material, this cyst will be released into the environment, and which are consumed by the pigs. At that time, they get entered within the pigs. So what? When we see the development can also be seen in case of pigs only. Okay, so that is the correct option for the question number 130. The next question number 131. Which of the following is not a characteristic feature of phylum Aschelhelminthes? Okay, which of the following is not a characteristic feature of phylum Aschelhelminthes? See, the options are given: bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic animals, pseudocoelomate animals and unsegmented body, then incomplete alimentary canal, and they are dioecious. So we have to consider which one is not a characteristic feature of Aschelhelminthes. So here, except option C, all are the characteristic features, okay, of phylum Aschelhelminthes. So they don't have the incomplete alimentary canal. See, as I told you in case of Ascaris, which is the Aschelhelminthes, it consists of mouth and anus, right? So this option is the incorrect. Okay. The next question number 132, that is syncytial epidermis occurs in. Okay. So syncytial type of epidermis is only seen in case of Ascaris. Okay. So that is the correct answer for question number 132. Then question number 133, an intermediate host is present in. Okay, so intermediate host is present in what type of worm over here? So see, Ascaris, Wucheria, then Encyclostoma and Enterobius. So here intermediate host, where it is, see, Wucheria bancrofti, okay, it is or the Wucheria malai, it is responsible for causing the disease called elephantiasis. It is a protozoan type of disease again. Okay, also this is the parasites, these are the parasite, but they have an intermediate host. They travel to the human body with the help of a vector, that is like mosquitoes. Okay, so through mosquitoes or through the housefly, okay, they will migrate to the human body and infect the human body by releasing the parasites into the human body. So intermediate host is there, either that is flies or the host, or flies or the mosquitoes. So for whom, there is for the Wucheria. Okay, so option B is the correct one. The next question number 134, female Ascaris can be differentiated from male by, okay, now we have to consider this. Female Ascaris is, can be differentiated by male means, see, if we look after the structure, okay, structurally males are smaller, okay, males are smaller than the females, okay, and females you can see they are larger. Okay, so that is the structural difference, and the option is also given, longer than male and straight posterior end. Okay, so they have the straight posterior end over here. Okay, so that is, and they are longer than male. The next question number 135, which of the following statement is incorrect about Annelida? They are triploblastic, metamerically segmented and coelomate animals. Okay, they possess both longitudinal and circular muscles. No, this is not correct. Okay, which help in the locomotion. Means actually they consist of the longitudinal, okay, not the circular one. The next, a closed circulatory system is present. Okay, all are monoecious and reproduction is sexual. Okay, so basically they are dioecious, they are hermaphrodite, right? But they favor the cross fertilization in annelids, we can see in the earthworms. All the options, okay, see here, all the options are correct basically, but last option, that is option number D, all are monoecious and reproduction is sexual. See, they favor the sexual reproduction, but they are not monoecious, they are dioecious. Okay, so that is the correct option for the question number 135. The next, if you look after this characteristic feature or general characters of the annelids, that is earthworm, you can see a closed circulatory system present in them. Then they possess longitudinal, I think also circular muscles into them. Okay, then they are metamerically segmented. Of course, they are triploblastic and having the they are coelomate, and the body is segmented. Around 100 to 120 segments are present. Okay, so that is, these three are the correct, and fourth option, that is all are monoecious and reproduction is sexual, is incorrect. Okay, then question number 136, which of the following is a dioecious? Options are given, Feritema, okay, then Hirudinaria, okay, then Neris and Lumbricus. So of this, Neris is a dioecious type of animal. Okay, the next, Neris possesses lateral appendages called parapodia, which help in locomotion, swimming, respiration, all of this. Okay, as we have discussed about it, in Neris, suppose this is the body of Neris, and at the lateral part they consist of leaf-like structures. Okay, and these leaf-like structures are called parapodia. They help in respiration, they also help in the locomotion and also help in the swimming. Okay, so that is the what do we say? Yes, Neris. Okay, characters of Neris. Then which of the following is the largest phylum of kingdom Animalia? Of course, Arthropoda. Around 9 lakh species are found in the Arthropoda, of which 7,50,000 are the insects. Okay, so this is the largest phylum among the kingdom Animalia. The next, which of the following is not an exclusive trait of Arthropoda? Presence of wings, jointed appendages, hemocele, chitinous body. So of this, see, Arthropods means they are having jointed appendages. Okay, arthro means jointed and poda means appendages. Name itself indicate. Option B is correct. Okay, it is the characteristic feature of the arthropod. Then hemocoel, the body cavity, okay, consists of a hemolymph and it is developed into the hemocoel. Okay, it is also present. Then chitinous exoskeleton. Yes, the exoskeleton it is made up of chitin, which is a homopolysaccharide consisting of the N-acetyl glucosamine, as I told you in the very beginning. Then presence of wings. See, presence of wings is not compulsory in all the insects. Okay, this all the insects do not show a kind of flying activities, right? So presence of wings cannot be considered as an exclusive trait of arthropods. Option A will be the correct answer for question number 139. Then 140. Arthropoda is characterized by, okay, see, let's see the characteristics of arthropoda. Triploblastic, bilateral symmetry, abdominal appendages, okay. Then bilateral symmetry, a pair of wings. Then option C, acoelomates, radial symmetry. Option D, exoskeleton, metameric segmentation and jointed appendages. So this will be the correct answer, that is exoskeleton. They have the exoskeleton which is made up of chitin. Then metamerically segmented exoskeleton can be seen. Okay, that is called sclerites. Okay, I told you about it when we were discussing the general characteristics of the arthropods and example cockroach. Okay, then jointed appendages. This is the characteristic feature of arthropod. So option D will be the correct answer for this. The next, choose the incorrect match. Now here we have to see the incorrect match. Now gregarious pest, which is also called locusta, yes, it is correct. Then living fossil, limulus, that is the king crab, okay, that is also correct. Vector, lucifer, okay, an economically important insect, apis. Apis in the sense it is used for production of the honey as well as the wax. Apis indica, Apis dorsata, Apis florea are the types of bees which are the insects basically and are commercially used for production of honey as well as bee wax. Okay, so here incorrect match is the vector lucifer. Okay, so question number 141 has the option C. The next question number 142, body of insect is divisible into, see the options are given: head, thorax and abdomen, head, trunk and abdomen, cephalothorax, head and abdomen, trunk, thorax and abdomen. So the correct answer for this is the head, thorax and abdomen. Okay, so it consists of a triangular head. In case of cockroach only we can take an example, triangular head, then they have the thorax and then it is connected with the abdomen region. Okay, so what is divisible into 3 parts, and option A will be correct for question number 142. Then question number 143, in insects respiratory gas exchange occurs through, okay, in insects respiratory gas exchange occurs through, see, in case of insects or in cockroach there is a tracheary system or the trachea, yes, tracheary system is present which consists of spiracles, the opening, and helps in the exchange of gases. So yes, tracheae, that is the correct answer, 143, option B. 144, what is the common between earthworm and cockroach? Okay, see the options: nephridia, solid ventral nerve cord, cuticle, okay, Malpighian tubule. So in case of earthworm and cockroach, the common property is like solid ventral nerve cord. They have the solid ventral nerve cord. Okay, so that is the correct answer for the question number 144. That is option number B. Open blood circulation is found in, options are given: earthworm, human, cockroach, reptiles. See, earthworm they are having closed circulation, then humans they are also having the closed type of blood circulation, then reptiles they are also having the closed type of circulation. Means the blood, when it passes with the help of blood vessels into the body, that can be referred as closed circulation. In case of cockroach, it is passing into the hemocoel, okay, that is the empty sinus like cavity. So that is kind of open blood circulation. Okay, the next, blood color of arthropod is, see, what will be the blood color of arthropod? Okay. See, it is a hemolymph. When we talk of the lymph has no color. It is colorless. Okay. And options are given colorless, red, blue, yellow. So the correct option is the colorless. They don't have any kind of color. Okay. The next excretory organ of arthropod are. See, options are given green glands, green gland and Malpighian tubules, nephridia and Malpighian tubules. So the option B will be the correct, that is green glands and Malpighian tubules. Okay, green gland where they are found? They are found in case of prawns, right? And Malpighian tubule, it is also located in all other arthropods, most of the arthropods. Okay, so the correct option will be option number B. The next question number 148. Which of the following is not a characteristic feature of phylum Mollusca? See, I will read the direct answer. Okay, respiratory organs are feather-like. Okay, feather-like gills which are present in the visceral hump. Okay, help in respiration and excretion. Okay, so when we talk of the feather-like gills are not seen in case of Mollusca. Okay, they have the gills which are present next to the mantle. If we look after the structure of Mollusca, we have seen the structure of snail, right? So they have the mantle, okay, under which there will be presence of the gills. So the option D will be the not characteristic feature of the phylum Mollusca. But other examples we can also see that they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate animals, yes, unsegmented animals, they don't have any kind of segments, they are having smooth texture, they are usually dioecious and oviparous, yes. Okay, so the option D is the incorrect answer for question number 148. The next question number 149, file-like rasping organ, okay, file-like rasping organ for feeding called radula is present in all mollusks except, see, radula, as I told you in the beginning also when I was teaching it, radula on this the questions will be asked. So the answer will be pinctada. Okay, that is pearl oyster. And then the radula is not found. Okay, as a feeding or the rasping organ. Okay. The next, mollusca are differentiated from others by mantle and unsegmented body. Other characters, okay, may be similar in other phylums also, but here the mantle and unsegmented body is the characteristic feature which differentiate mollusk from the other phylums. The next, Ostradium of Pila is meant for selection and rejection of the food material. Okay, so option D is the correct answer for this. The next, in which of the following class of phylum Mollusca torsion occurs? Okay, so options are given: gastropoda, pelycopoda, cephalopoda and monoplacopoda. So as I told you about the classification, I have given the classification of phylum Mollusca. Okay, you can also refer there gastropoda. Okay, this is a torsion is a larval stage. So you can see gastropoda. In gastropoda, the torsion type of larval stage occurs. The next, that is option number A. Question number 153. Ink glands for protection and locomotion by jet propulsion, okay, mechanism is characterized by characteristic feature of, okay, that is squid. Squid, they generally release ink-like substances for defense, okay, defense mechanism as well as for locomotion. Okay. The next, trochophore larva occurs in, see, trochophore larva, where it is seen, it occurs in annelids as well as mollusca. Okay, trochophore larva. The next, pearls are obtained from pinctada, that is option B. Then 156, which of the following statement is incorrect about circulatory of mollusk? Let's see. First option, blood contains a respiratory pigment called hemocyanin. Okay, yes, in case of mollusk we see the blood pigment, it is hemocyanin. In case of other organism, it is hemoglobin. Okay. The next, non-cephalopods mollusk, okay, have open circulatory system. Yes, it is also correct. Then cephalopod mollusk have closed circulatory system. Yes, see the options like non-cephalopod and cephalopods means they are having the either open as well as closed circulation. Respiratory pigment is hemoglobin dissolved in plasma. No, it is not correct. See, the first option it is about the correct that is the respiratory pigment, that is hemocyanin. But here respiratory pigment is a hemoglobin. It is not the characteristic feature of the phylum Mollusca. Then question number 157. Eye of which molluscan group resembles the vertebrate eye? Okay, so here the options are given: bivalvia, gastropoda, pelycopoda and cephalopoda. So in cephalopoda they have the eyes which resembles to the vertebrate's eye. Okay, the next question number 158. In which of the following phylum larvae are bilaterally symmetrical and in adult radially symmetrical? See, it is about the echinoderms. Okay, it is about the echinoderms. So in echinoderms we can see in larval stages they are bilaterally symmetrical and in adult stages they are radially symmetrical. When we come to the mollusk, they also in larval stages show the bilateral symmetry, but as they grow up the body cannot be divisible into identical halves, so they don't show any kind of symmetry, so they are asymmetric. Then annelids, they show bilateral symmetry. Arthropods, they are also showing bilateral symmetry. Correct option for this is the echinoderms, as they show radial symmetry, okay, in the adult. The next, which of the following is not characteristic feature of phylum Echinodermata? Excretory system is absent. Okay, it is a characteristic feature of phylum Echinodermata. Presence of water-vascular system, yes, and helps in the locomotion. Sexes are separate, yes. Fertilization is internal. Okay. Development is indirect with free-swimming larva. No, this is the incorrect feature of the phylum Echinodermata. So option D will be the answer for this question. Then Aristotle's lantern. Okay, Aristotle's lantern, which help in mastication, is a characteristic feature of. Okay, so options are given, and I think in the previous doubt session also some student has asked this question. So the correct answer for is the sea urchin. Okay, and Aristotle lantern in the sense it is the set of tooth. Okay, used for mastication. Mastication means grinding the food material. Okay, so it is seen in case of Echinus, that is sea urchin. Then ambulacral grooves are absent in. Okay, ambulacral grooves are absent in. Options are given: Astroidea, Crinoidea, Ophiroidea and starfish. Okay, so the question was ambulacral grooves. So ambulacral grooves, they are absent in case of Ophiroidea. Okay, so these are nothing but a kind of grooves which help in the movement. Okay, if we look after the structure of starfish, I have given in the discussion, okay, or when we are discussing about echinoderms, you can see there is an ambulacral groove is present which help in the movement. Okay, so it is absent in case of Ophiroidea. Then question number 162: in which of the following phylum all animals are exclusively marine with organ system level of organization? See here. So there is again echinoderms, because coelenterate they don't have organ system level of organization. Poriferum they have the cell level of organization. Mollusca, although they may have the organ level of organization, okay, but they cannot be said as exclusively marine. Why? Because some are also found on the land. There are terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, so or the garden snail, which where it is found? It is found in the garden only. Okay, on the soil, moist soil. So correct option for this is the Echinodermata. Okay, so generally starfish you can say the example. Okay, these are where they are found. They are found only in marine water. The next, which of the following occurs in mollusk but not echinoderms? Okay, so see the options: Aristotle lantern, kidneys, organ system level of organization, dioecious conditions. Okay, in case of echinoderms, they don't have the kidneys. Okay, generally the excretion is in the form of ammonia. Okay, so it is diffused through the body, or some other characteristic feature will be there, but they don't have the kidneys. Okay, so this will be the answer, that is option B for question number 164. Then question number 165. In echinodermata, the members of which class have mouth and anus on body surface of body? Sorry, mouth and anus on same surface of body. Okay, so in echinoderm, see, we have discussed from the, in most of the starfishes we see the mouth as well as anus, they are having at the dorsal as well as ventral side. Okay, but in case of the Cranialdia type of echinoderms, they have the mouth as well as anus, okay, on the same surface of the body. Okay, so option B will be the correct. The next question number 166. The structures which help in respiration as well as excretion, okay, are dermal branchi, pedicellariae, calcareous spines, and D, tuber cells. So here dermal branchi can be the correct answer, which can be acting as a respiratory as well as excretory structures. Okay. The next question number 167. Which of the following is mismatched? Okay. Clypeaster, cake urchin, Pentacetus starfish, Ophiocoma sand dollar, and Echinocordium hard arching. So among these, A, B and D are the correct match, and option C is the mismatched. Okay, so option C will be the answer for question number 167. Then question number 168. Excretory organ is hemichordates. So in hemichordate, it is supposed to be in hemichordate. It is a typological error. That is, excretory organ in hemichordate is. So in hemichordates, what is the excretory organ? That is called selenocyte, which is also referred as proboscis gland, right? So which is acting as an excretory organ. The next, stomochord is present in, see, in balanoglossus, we have this collar region. Okay, collar region consists of the stomochord, which act as a nerve cord in case of the phylum Hemichordata. Okay, so example, it is, we have studied, that is balanoglossus. Okay, so stomochord is present in the balanoglossus. Option C is the correct answer. Then, which is the correct about acorn worm? Okay, which is correct about acorn worm? See, sexes are separate, but fertilization is external. Okay, this is the correct about acorn worm. Okay, so this is option C will be the correct answer for question number 170. Now 171, find the correct match with respect to hemichordate phylum. Okay, so options are given: circulatory system open, okay, then body cavity caesocoelom, then respiratory pigment hemocyanin, and gill slits are absent. Okay, so here options are given and we have to consider which one is the correct match with respect to hemichordate. In hemichordate we see we have open circulatory system. Okay, so this is the correct one, that is option number A. Now next, question number 172. See the question number 172. The anterior most part of body of balanoglossus is, okay, so anterior part in case of balanoglossus, so it is having a triangular head, right? So we can see the structurally in case of balanoglossus, so it is having the worm like body and the triangular head is there, which is having a division here called collar, okay, and the worm like body over here, right? So such a structure can be seen. This triangular part is referred as the proboscis. So this is the proboscis, entire part, the head region. Okay, so anterior part of the body of balanoglossus is proboscis. Okay, The next question number 173, which is not true? Okay, so we have to consider which one is not true about the again this hemichordates. Okay, acorn worm is worm-like. Okay, acorn worm is worm-like but not parasitic in nature. The next, tongueworm is also called acorn worm. Yes. Then stomachord is also known as buccal diverticulum, is present in collar. No. Then Tornea larva is the larva of Balanoglossus. So see, option C will be the correct among here. Okay, that is which is not true about the hemichordata. That is stomachord. Okay, is also known as buccal diverticulum. No, it is not called buccal diverticulum. Okay, as it is present in collar. So yes, stomachord it is seen in the collar, but it is not having the buccal diverticulum. Okay, so that is the yes incorrect one or the not true. Okay. Then question number 174. Which of the following hemichordates show its affinity with chordates? Okay. Or which feature of the hemichordate show its affinity with the chordates? So here you can see presence of pharyngeal gill slits is the feature which is common between the hemichordates and the chordates. Okay. So pharyngeal gill slits are also seen in case of the hemichordate, and it is also seen in case of the chordates. Okay, in chordate Pisces are there, they are having the pharyngeal gill slits, right? The next question number 175. Which of the following statement is incorrect about phylum Hemichordata? Okay, they are bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, triploblastic and coelomate animals. Yes, they are. Circulatory system is closed. Excretory organ is proboscis gland. Yes, it is having a proboscis gland which acts as a excretory organ. Then fertilization is external and development is indirect. Yes, that is also correct. But the incorrect one is the circulatory system is closed type. They don't have the closed circulatory system. Okay. Then question number 176. Which of the following set of animals belong to phylum Hemichordata? Okay. So in Hemichordata we have seen only two examples. And these two examples are also called tongueworm or the acorn worm. So the options are Balanoglossus and Sacculoglossus. Okay, so these are the correct options. Option number A will be the answer for the question number 176. The next other options are also there like Scalpa, Dololium, then Petromyzon, Myxine, Dentalium. Okay, these are the options of the some other phylum. Okay. For phylum Hemichordata, option that is A, Balanoglossus and Sacculoglossus is the correct one. Question number 177. Okay, here the diagram has been given. You have to observe the diagram and answer the questions. Okay, so observe the animal picture below and choose the option which is correct for all the following questions. So questions are in such a manner. First question: which kind of symmetry does the animal displays? So you can see the structure which is showing the structure of the squid basically. Okay, so it is showing a radial type of symmetry. Okay, so it is having the or bi-radial, you can say bi-radial type of symmetry. The next, does this animal have nervous? Okay, of course they have the nervous system. The next, how many germ layers does this animal have? These are diploblastic. Then how many openings does this animal's digestive system has? Okay, it has only one opening. Okay, so that will be the, sorry, it is a not squid, it is the structure of hydra. Sorry, so it is having the radial symmetry, possesses the biradial symmetry. Then have the nervous system. They have the nervous system which is diffuse type. Then next, they have the two germ layers, that is diploblastic, and they have a single opening, that is blind sac body plan. Okay, so option C will be the correct answer for question number 177. Similar diagram is also given in NCERT textbook. So if you get any kind of confusion, you can look after the diagram. Okay, and the description also. Then question number 178. Millipedes and centipedes differ in that Okay, millipede and centipede differ in that millipedes, okay, see the options are terrestrial and segmented. Option B, have one pair of legs on each segment. Okay. Then option C, have poisonous fangs, and option D are herbivores. So basically, all of these characters, okay, except they are herbivores. Okay, they belong to the centipede. Okay, so basically they are herbivores, which is the characteristic feature of the millipede. Okay, and they don't have the poisonous fangs also. The next question number 179. A Portuguese man of war, that is Physalia, and Hydra are similar in that both, okay, they are hydrozoans. Okay, they are found in the water. They are hydrozoans. So that is the correct answer for question number 179. Then Tornaria larva or Tornaria is the larva of Balanoglossus. Okay, option A will be the correct for this. So students, I hope you have got all the information or all the answers of the questions. If you have any kind of query or the doubt, you can text me on to the WhatsApp, okay, or else also you can ask in the doubt session. Okay, so thank you.